Welcome back, friends. My name is Taylor Pace, and we're going to talk about how to build a support network, how to build community. Welcome back to Rainbow Y Survival Guide. Building a support network. Okay, this is a very challenging. So we've talked a lot about, right? I've mentioned a lot about like the real challenges that come from living in Utah. Listen, I'm a straight white man, right? This is the experience that I've heard from the individuals that I've helped professionally as well as like personally. And just kind of like my own observations of what I've seen in the advocacy space of what people are struggling with. And community is definitely one of them. And I think the hardest part about it is again kind of acknowledging the fact that like infrastructurally, there's not very many like safe third queer spaces. Like there's Suntrap, that has probably been like one of the most persistent or consistent ones that have maybe like, even with some rocky history, is a place that most people feel as adults like comfortable going to and feeling safe at. But like, I don't know if I could even name all of the ones that I feel like I've heard. There's been some level of like uncertainty with like the intention of the place, of the safety of the place. And so like it's challenging. I can imagine it being very difficult, not really feeling like you have a reliable place to go to that feels consistently like solid. And so we have to do that a lot by ourselves, right? And I mean, I've met dozens of pockets of like wonderful queer people just making it work. It's so impressive. It's so heartwarming. Some of these communities really understand that like the price of communities and convenience and just are beautiful in their expression of that. There's something to be said about the challenge of getting there because it requires a lot of emotional maturity. It requires a lot of inner work. It requires a lot of therapy. The biggest thing that is difficult about obtaining or building that community, from my perspective, is that everyone who has done a lot of work probably feels very tired at the work that they have done and the community that they have built. It's hard to want to expand past that. And I'm not trying to say you should expand past your limits, don't. But I guess that what I will say is that it does take effort. It does take going to places that you find to be enjoyable and meeting people and talking to them and talking about the things that interest you and listening to the things that interest others. It is about the little moments of building camaraderie and rapport with people, of consistency, of having some sort of reliable connection, whatever that may look like. It can be digital, it can be in person. Community doesn't happen on accident. It's a very intentional act. It's a practice. And part of the reason why we're out of practice is because of the system of which we live. There are a lot of real forces that try to make community hard to obtain. A prerequisite to building community is being loud, is taking up space, especially in a place where they don't want you to. So the more authentically loud you can be and the more community space you are able to take up, the more you will draw people in, the more you will build that community, the more space we take up, you take up. If I were to give kind of like a guiding piece of advice, some sort of direction of all of this confusing water, I would just say like, shoot for what feels authentic. Go to places that you believe would be fun and enjoyable, that you think would be safe and have a good time. Put yourself in places and spend time with people that you feel like you would want to. Invite people over, go out. I understand that like finances permitting, it's rough out here, but it's a time for us to be creative. And I guess I believe that we can do that. Bookstores. Under the Umbrella is fantastic. Under the Umbrella, from what I understand, consistently puts out events. It's a bookstore for queer people. They have activities that are usually crafts towards specific identities that are marginalized. I've seen NB, I've seen transgender, I've seen craft nights, I've seen book clubs, I've seen pop-up art gallery things there. They have a cafe. They always have things on their bulletin board about what's going on in the community as far as like things that you can do, protests. That's a good place. That's a place where you could probably reliably find safety and community. Shout out to the Legendarium. They're a trans-owned bookstore. That's another place that the queer community can definitely probably put some of their backing to. Slack, they do like rock climbing things at Momentum. I've seen those events going on in Midvale. The queer hiking group, I've heard good things about that too. There's a bowling league, I'm pretty sure. I mean, Salt Lake has the majority of just queer fronting things. Sugar House is the biggest place that I know of, and then Marmalade, I understand, is a place that's been historically pretty queer friendly as well. Slug Magazine is also a place where I'd imagine has more information, like events going on to a variety of different interests. As far as like looking for where you can find safe places, I think we've named a good portion of them. Out Foundation, any of the BYU org could probably give you a little, maybe a little bit more. You'll find a mixed bag of places where you may feel comfortable with queer spaces, but just know that everyone's gonna be different and every place may not be exactly what you want it to be. Trust your gut, trust your instinct, trust what feels good to you, explore, and figure it out. And I think you'll do better than you think you will. As always, my friends, stay alive, stay safe, stay gay. I'll catch you later.